Christmas brought so much joy. Couldn't wait for the presents and laughter. I couldn't sleep late at night, looking for Santa with lights. Those are the memories I still remember. Then I became a man, lost sight of who I am, but right in front of me was the answer. 'Cause on Christmas I feel joy, and I turn back to a boy. The answer is to stay young forever. This is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song, this is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song, this is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song, this is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song.
Hello, Star Wars fans. You know, there's a 122 days until Christmas, 2025. Oh, you know what today is? Today is August 25th. The 25th of every month should be a celebration of another month closer to Christmas. Oh, so here we are. It's good to see you all today. And we've got Fitz in the stream. Star Wars Fitz in there doing what he normally does. He's poking the bear. He's in there just causing trouble. The guy is just naughty. You know, and Fitz, you guys had a U.S. NCAA college football game right there in your backyard this past weekend over in Dublin, Ireland. So don't know if you caught any of that. I didn't, but I know every year the NCAA tries to send a game to Dublin, Ireland to be hosted over there. And that happened this past weekend. Of course, this next weekend is a big weekend for college football. My favorite sport, college football. Ohio State plays Texas. It's a big deal, but you're not here to talk about NCAA college football. We're all here to talk about Star Wars. And today we're going to talk about our good friend, Thrawn. We're going to talk about Thrawn. And Brittany, I love your thumbnail, and your comments in the chat prior to the show are spot on. We're going to talk about some things today. One of the comments that Brittany asked that I want to get to in just a little bit ago, she said, where is it? How would Zahn feel about it? I know he told me he would have Thrawn finish the Empire mission, then return to the Chiss. We're going to talk about that. I've got an interview that Timothy Zahn did this past weekend up in Canada, right up in Canada, and we're gonna look at that video. We're gonna break it down. We're gonna talk about a good bit of that here in a little bit. But I also saw early on before the show started with Jedi Mike. Good to see you. I know what was Mike's comment. Mike, I think Mike was the first one in the chat actually. And where did it go? It's Jedi Mike, Monday workload for the poor elves. He's giving me a hard time. Jedi Mike, great to see you as well. And something comes to mind as we do this, and let me bring this up. Every Wednesday, for our supporters, so our YouTube members and our patrons, we have a call-in. Sometimes I'm late. Look, it's the way it is. I've got a full-time job, and I don't always get on the call on time. Sometimes it has to go short, but every Wednesday we have a call, and we talk about Star Wars. We talk about football. We talk about the weather. We talk about the fires in Los Angeles. We talk about whatever the news is, whatever you all want to talk about, and we visit. We just get to spend some time together, speculate about things, and sometimes I get some tea. I get some tea that I can spill. I don't really have anything earth-shattering right now, so we've just been spending time together and visiting. So if you're one of our supporters, Jedi Mike is often there. So is Fitz. And we've got a few others who have started attending our Wednesday calls. If you're one of our supporters, you'll find that information in Patreon. On YouTube, I post the link every week, and as a reminder, and then in Discord, we post all the information there as well. Then I put little reminders on Twitter and Facebook and that kind of thing, just to remind folks that, hey, noon on Wednesday, noon Eastern. I live in Ohio in the United States, and I'm in the Eastern time zone. So noon Eastern, we have that call-in show. So let's see. Have I taken care of all of the stuff? Have I talked about all the important stuff, the non-important stuff? Have I done all the gibber and the jabber? Oh, this is my friend Star Wars Meg. You know, today's show is inspired by Meg. Meg did a great video yesterday talking about it, and it got my attention on this story. So Fitz says, we did American football where they don't use their foot. Right. It's they use their foot, but only in sort of a secondary manner, right? The foot part is not the major part of American football, right? It's certainly a minor part. So, also a note, just to get some feedback from all of you, I am using Wi-Fi again. For the longest time, I was hardlined into the router with a LAN cable to make sure that my connection was really well. But I've moved upstairs for my work computer. And so I moved the router upstairs and all of that. So I can't be hardlined in. We're trying this. If it doesn't work, I'll have to come up with a solution to get that LAN line all the way upstairs so that I can hardline in. So you guys let me know how it's going, if there are any troubles. Hold on one second. Woo! Got a tickle in my throat. Cough. All right. We have got some topics to talk about off the top, and then we'll get right into the news of the thumbnail. And let me see. I think I've got this all set up where I can do that, and you can see my screen. We have the HasLab. We've been giving updates on this vintage collection, LAAT. It's the gunship from Attack of the Clones, and more importantly, from the Battle of Geonosis, which is a major event in the prequel timeline. The Battle of Geonosis is pivotal. It becomes a landmark, a milestone that people refer back to, the Battle of Geonosis. There's all of this content in the Clone Wars that refer back to it, everything. So the Battle of Geonosis is going to be a major push in 2026 for Hasbro. They're going to be releasing figures in the Black Series and Vintage Collection lines. And I think this gunship is one of the major vehicles involved in that. Certainly the only one that they could feasibly make in a Vintage Collection line. There's a lot of complaints from vintage collectors who are saying, well, but Santa, they cheated. They've released the gunship before. We have Vintage Collection gunships. There's a couple of different versions out there. What do we need this new one for? It doesn't mean anything. We don't need it. We don't want it. And we're not going to buy it. My friends, it's not looking well. Right? It's not looking good. I think the cost is a little bit high. It's $450 US. Normally these things run $350 and up. This is certainly on the high side, but also all of your prior gunships don't stand up at all to this one. And you can see that right now we're sitting at, what's the backers? 3,729. We're coming up on 50% of the backers they need to get this thing funded. And we need 8,000 to get it funded. And then there are unlocked tiers that I think might as well just write those off. Those aren't happening. We're not going to see those. But then we have, we just have 14 days to go. So look, if you're not going to back it, I'm not backing it, not because of any protests, not because of any issues with it. I think it's a fantastic ship. I think it's something very much needed in the vintage collection line. It's something that collectors of vintage collection, that line, need to have in their inventory. If you're going to recreate a major battle like the Battle of Geonosis, and you're going to get all the figures associated with that in 2026, and you don't have the gunship, you're going to be a sad collector. And I hope that it funds. I want it to fund. I seriously think that it's needed in the line. I don't want it for myself because I am focusing my collection on the Mandalorian series of and carded figures, carded vehicles, carded creatures, like my good old blurgs right back here. Oh, I love the blurgs. You got to remember that. So, look, this is seriously needed, and I hope that it backs. Got a long way to go. Got a long way to go. And I don't know if my comments are refreshing in the chat. So I'm just going to go down. Oh my goodness, there's all kinds of stuff in the chat that I am not getting in my. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can resolve this travesty. Just 1 second. I got to go to see my chat's not updating, and it's stressing me out. Okay, here we go. I'm going to take this, and I'm going to take this, and I'm going to pop it back out. The way that this widget works, I have to pop out the chat for it to come into my stream. So let me just read the chat here, and then we'll get right back to the stories, because I can see that I've been trying to follow, and it's not working. Let me see. Let me see. What's it say? So Fitz shared the Discord link. Thank you for doing that, Fitz. R2D2 BB8 Peanut. Thank you, Mike, Jedi Mike. Peanut is upstairs right now. She's just chilling out, so she won't be down here interrupting the show. I brought her down with me as I was doing show prep, and then she just started snoozing. I thought, well, I'll just take her back upstairs. Fitz says, I'm working from home on Wednesday, so you can attend. Excellent. Is it green tea or Earl Grey? It's more of the green tea variety there. It doesn't have the kind of strength and richness of Earl Grey. It's more of a green tea, a light, kind of thin, refreshing, but also not, the weighty, like I would say an Earl Grey would be. Jedi Mike, Snow Troopers in Santa's Discord. Yes, thank you for that, Mike. And we'll see if it starts updating in my chat here again shortly. But why does Santa park in a driveway? Well, why does Santa park in a driveway, Jedi Mike? Let me see if I see the payoff of your joke. What? I don't see the payoff. I don't see. Why does Santa park in a driveway? Mike, I don't know. I don't know. Hey, looks like we got the chat going again here. You'll have to tell me why does Santa park in a driveway? Meg's video started with much of the Thrawn news. Yeah, we're going to get into the Thrawn news, and I love Meg's speculation. She pinged me over the weekend, and we were kind of chatting a little bit about some speculation. What might be going over in Peridia? It was a football joke. Football joke. Why does Santa park in a driveway? Why does Santa park in a driveway? Oh, I get you. It goes on this, like a building. Why do they call it a building after it's been built? It's not being built. They're not building it. It's built already. It's not building. Why do you drive on a parkway? Why do you park on a driveway? Why do you play football with without your feet? I got it, Mike. There you go. Why does Santa park on a driveway? I get it. I get it. Thank you for that. All right. So I am going to let's share again. I've got more stories to talk about before we get to the lead. Right, you gotta tease it out just a little bit. So look, D23 is coming up. It starts Friday and it goes through the weekend. This coming weekend, we'll talk about it again this Friday. But I thought I would go ahead and lead with it this morning, this afternoon, evening, as it is wherever you are. But today, on Monday, the 25th of August, I thought I would bring this up. What are they going to talk about? Are we going to get any Star Wars revelations? And we saw that, like Star Wars Newsnet posted that maybe, right, that it says that they're going Walt Disney Studio Showcase on Saturday, the 30th at 9:15 Eastern, where attendees will get an exclusive look at the movies fans love and a glimpse into what to look forward to from Disney's film studios. Oh boy, what might happen during this D23? As Jedi Mike put, he says, Meg and I are hoping for a Mando Grogu trailer. I don't know. I don't know if you're going to get that. I think they will get it. I don't think we will get it. Of course, it'll leak out again. It's been released several times, and people have seen it, and it's been revised. I think the last time they showed it, there were little bits of it they hadn't seen before. I think, again, they're going to show that trailer to the folks in attendance. But let's take a look. There's been more come out since then. And making Star Wars. Hey, talking about making Star Wars, I did talk to Jason Ward over the weekend. I was getting ready to go out and mow the lawn Friday evening. And I text him and say, hey, Jason, how you doing, buddy? I'm getting ready to go mow the lawn. I'd like to catch up with you. And he called me. And we had a short talk. Not very long, but I can assure you that Jason Ward is doing well. I heard his voice on the phone. I had a discussion with him, and so he's doing well. And he asked me to reach out to him again this week. So we'll try to touch base again. So that being said, let's get back to the story because there's more. But wait, there's more. So Disney has since posted the full event schedule. Let's take a look at this full event schedule and see what might we find there. It says, this year's Destination D23 will include the always buzzy Walt Disney Studios showcase of upcoming films, a panel with the company's experiences team about the fan favorite villain experiences around the world, a conversation with Don Hahn and Leslie iWorks about the happiest place on earth and appearances from Disney Channel stars. Okay. Now remember, it was this Saturday appearance at 9 Eastern. 9 Eastern. Here we go. Welcome. Saturday, 9 Eastern. Walt Disney Studios Showcase. There it is. 9:15 a.m. Eastern. This is what everybody's hoping for. They're hoping that this is going to be the event. This is going to be the thing where we're going to find out the things. This is what they're hoping for. If you just break it down and look, it says here's the morning break after that. I do think they will show the Mando Grogu trailer to those in attendance. I do not expect them to release that globally, put it out into YouTube or anything like that, into social media. I don't expect to see that for some time. And then you'll see there's Welcome Back with Michael Vargo, The Three Caballeros, Disney stuff, Ex Atencio, The Untold Story of a Disney Legend, Disney Around the Globe, India, Be Our Guest with Disney on Broadway. There's a lunch break after that. 2 p.m. What you doing? With Phineas and Ferb, Dan Povenmire, and Swampy Marsh. And then 2:25, Disney Around the Globe with Japan. D2K animated classics, creating the happiest place on earth. That's more about the parks. Afternoon break. Then what's cooking with Disney Eats? That doesn't have any Star Wars stuff. 4:30. Boom, baby. 25 years of the Emperor's New Groove. And then 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Whatever. Cuscotopia night with at Disney's Typhoon Lagoon. The only chance you have of any Star Wars on Saturday is this 9:15 Walt Disney Studios showcase. And again, I only think that's going to be shown, that Mando Grogu trailer is going to be shown there. There are more Star Wars projects in 2026. But remember, this is more of a movie showcase. And the only movie Star Wars has in 2026 is Mando Grogu at this point. I don't think they're going to talk about movies that are in development, that are filming. I don't think they're going to go into that because those are not 2026 releases. So I would not expect to get anything more. Maybe they'll surprise us. I wouldn't count on it. Then Sunday, we have Disney villains, icons of evil. I think those are more like the animated, classics. Part of Our World, 9:50. The Three Caballeros again on Sunday. The Disney Family Legacy with Roy Disney, a morning break, and then more Three Caballeros. Part 3, the Down the Rabbit Hole with Disney Archives, lunch break, Disney Channel. You're watching the Disney Channel. Disney Around the Globe, China, Beyond the Spires, an insider look at Disney castles. Now, if you know, they're at Disney World and Disneyland, and if you go to Galaxy's Edge is actually a place called Black Spires Outpost. Black Spires Outpost. So when they say Beyond the Spires, they're not talking about that. Oh, no, they're not. It's a shame. And then with Disney Around the Globe, France, Goofy Movie, Afternoon Break, and Disney's 80s and 90s celebration and concert. That's it. That's the whole agenda. I think there's little to no chance we get anything new from D23 for Star Wars. So, unfortunately, that's the way it is. Disney Eats may have the Wookiee cookie. Oh, I like Wookiee cookies. I've actually had the blue milk and green milk at Disney World as well. The Kathleen Kennedy Disney Legend Award and exit. Nope, she's going to still be around. I don't think that'll happen. There was rumors that she would step down as president in 2026. At best, we'll get some sort of, from that perspective, we'll get some sort of announcement in 2026. But I've been told, and the way I understand that it's going to be, she's only stepping down as president. She is not retiring. She's not leaving Lucasfilm. She's simply stepping down as president. She will still be at Lucasfilm full-time, producing, executive producing, involved in the daily activities of working for Lucasfilm. I do not think that her stepping down as president is a retirement. So stepping down, maybe. Exiting, nope. I don't think that's happening. At least not from what I've heard, not from what I understand. The Star Wars info at D23, this sounds as thin as Mondo's mustache. You're not kidding. There's nothing to be excited about. And we'll talk about it some more Friday. Maybe some more information will come out. But look, I would not hold my breath. All right. So we got 2 more things we want to do today. Hold on. We're going to talk about Timothy Zahn. We're going to go through his interview. And we're going to talk about Thrawn. We're going to get into Brittany's questions. Brittany's questions are absolutely spot on. They're fantastic. We're going to talk about that. And then we're going to do this. We're going to get into building this thing. Right? I've been working on this Xwing, and I've got a new camera set up so that you can see more of the detail. We've got R2 in there. We've got the main fuselage built, the cockpit. All of that is there. We've got a really good start on this, but we've still got to get the wings attached. Look, we're only on page 5. We'll get into that. So that's the next thing up. So we're going to talk about this interview with Timothy Zahn. Heads up, as we go into this, I'm going to try to get the audio working. You guys let me know if you get an echo. I'll silence my mic so that the audio coming in from the page won't echo. Secondly, this interview is not like a formal interview like you would expect. The guy walks up to Timothy Zahn's table and he's got a microphone. Apparently ahead of time he said, "Hey, can we do a short interview?" And Zahn said yes. So you'll hear a lot of background information, sound, noise, and the guy doing the questioning, his voice is pretty present, right? You can hear it fairly well. But Zahn's responses are at a distance over the table with all of the noise around it. So very hard to understand. I've turned the subtitles on so that you guys can see what he says. And we'll stop it along the way and we'll talk about what he says. So we're going to talk about that. And we're going to break this interview down a little bit. All right. So let me know if it echoes. If you're getting some echo, I'll mute myself while we listen. All right, so let's jump on in.
Hello, I'm Ricky Church. I'm here at Fan Expo Canada for Flickering Myth and speaking with Star Wars Thrawn author and creator Timothy Zahn. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
All right, so there you get the taste of it. You can hear the interviewer. His voice is somewhat hearable. I'm watching the audio on the screen. It looks like it's coming in well, but when Zahn responds, my audio meter on the screen goes down to almost nothing. So let me know if you can hear Zahn or not, right? Oh, and by the way, we do have a poll, right? The poll says, how do you think Zahn truly feels about Filoni's Thrawn? We're going to listen to this interview. We'll talk about it, and we'll see. How do you think that what he really feels? Is he covering? I mean, if you saw Meg's video, like, is he just trying to stay in good graces, or is what he's saying actually how he feels? Right. So I gave 4 options. The first 3 are really what I had in mind. It said, please, Dave's getting it right. So he thinks Dave's spot on. He's happy with the portrayal of Thrawn. No negative thoughts there whatsoever. May have some constructive criticism, but mostly pleased. Second one, he's just happy Thrawn's in the shows. You know, he authored Thrawn. He's happy Thrawn's out there. That's it. He's just happy he's out there, like it or not. And the third one, he's frustrated. Dave doesn't get it. It's just not his version of Thrawn. But he's not revealing that in so many words. And then lastly, a mix of the above. Some sort of, yeah, he's happy Thrawn's in it. Parts are right, parts are wrong. Whatever, right? So we'll get that down. Thank you. Sounds good. No echo. Excellent. Seth, I did see this. We'll talk about this. Hold on, let me bring this back up so you can see. Ewan said he's watching the Clone Wars as homework. Well, he certainly is. I think he's probably watching the not Peridia. Where do they go? Oh shoot! My head just dropped the name. That arc with the mother, with the father, Mortis arc. That's it, Seth. I think he's watching the Mortis arc as homework. I think that's exactly what he's doing. He's watching the Clone Wars as homework. He's watching the Mortis arc because that's what they're going to say. That's what they're going to reveal. Brandon, hello. Hope everyone's having an amazing day. Okay, let's get back to I hope you're having an amazing day too, Brandon. Thanks for stopping in. Probably Maul stuff too. Maybe Maul stuff. I think primarily he's watching for the Mortis arc. But let's get back in here.
I'm good. So, tell us how you felt when you were first told Thrawn was coming into the actual canon after creating him and writing him in like the old novels, and then he's being introduced in Rebels, and now he's in live action.
Well, the big fear always when something of yours is taken into another medium is, are they going to make it right? Are they going to?
Okay, so how do you feel about it overall? They're taking your character, they're bringing it into live action. What are your fears? What are your concerns? What are you thinking when they're bringing Thrawn into Rebels, and then they're going to bring him into Ahsoka? He says, "Well, your first fear is they're going to make him right. Are they going to write him correctly?"
Grew up with the original.
And this says in the subtitles, it says Fona. Fona, fortunately, it's Filoni. All right, the subtitles got it wrong. This is Filoni. Grew up with the original. And we're going to talk about this. I'm going to stop it right after this comment, and we're going to talk about this just a little bit.
Thrawn trilogy as part of his Star Wars experience. So he understands the character. He understands how to write from. He understands how you defeat him. You give him something he can't anticipate or something he can't control. And so I was very pleased with how they did him in Rebels. I don't think we've seen enough of him in Ahsoka yet to form a really good opinion. But again, Filoni understands him. I think we're going to do just fine in season 2.
Okay, we're going to stop it there for just a bit, and I'll bring this back up. Mumbo Jimbo, hello. Hope the internet works well enough to watch the rest of the show. Thank you, Mumbo Jimbo. Good to see you here. Yeah, so look, his concern is he going to be written correctly? He said he was happy with how he was portrayed in Rebels. And people, look, for fans of us who have read the books and you understand Thrawn's motivation, you understand what's driving him, you understand what his intentions are, and his character, his core character, who he is, and where his morals, values lie. When you understand all of that, which you do not get at all in Rebels, all you see are his actions. And then you have to read into it what his motives are. And I'll say this as well, and he's going to address this in just a second. And he talks about how Filoni he grew up with the original Thrawn trilogy, right? The Heir to the Empire trilogy. And he understands Thrawn. But then he puts a caveat on there, right? So this is sort of an ad hoc interview, right? So Zahn throws a little caveat on there, and he says, well, he understands how to defeat him. He understands you have to kind of do a setup, and then you have to do something he cannot anticipate, do something he cannot predict, right? Something that he can't analyze ahead of time. And Dave understands that. So whether he's getting his motives correctly or not, I don't think Timothy Zahn is truly addressing. And I'll go back to the initial question: do I think that he's getting it right? To the poll question that Brittany brought up. No, I don't think he is. I don't think he is. And I don't think that Dave, and this has been in interviews over and over again. And we have a friend of ours who's out there on the West Coast, and Brittany as well. Brittany, let me get Brittany's comment because she put a really good one in there. Let me go down. It says, let's see. Here it is. It says, I know he told me. So Brittany talked to Zahn at a convention, and Zahn told her that he would have Thrawn finish the Empire mission, then return to the Chiss. Now, if you read the original Heir to the Empire trilogy, you know Thrawn does not make it back. Right? He dies. Well, that's been made legends. That no longer exists. And we got to talk about the Heir to the Empire Thrawn versus the Rebels Thrawn versus the new Thrawn trilogy Thrawn versus the Ahsoka Thrawn. How many Thrawns are out there? And we also have our friend Gray. who has talked to Timothy Zahn. Gray's talked to him, and what Gray told us, she was here in our chat a couple weeks ago, is the same thing that Brittany is saying. That he didn't say what he's saying here. He said that was at Collective Con 2024. Okay, so that was last year. Well, Gray talked to Timothy Zahn just this year, and Timothy Zahn had the same sort of frustrations. Nobody at Disney's talking to him. Nobody at Lucasfilm's talking. He's not been consulted. He's not been talked to. He's made himself available, but nobody's ringing the phone. That's a concern for those of us who are huge fans of Timothy Zahn's Thrawn. Well, what version are we going to get? I listed off at least 4 that could exist, right? We go back to the Heir to the Empire, Rebels, the new novels, and then Ahsoka. Are all of those the same Thrawn? They don't feel like it when you watch it. And so I want to get this playing again and bring up another point. All right, I want to bring up another point. So let's go here. I'll do that, and let's let this play it again.
And when he came into Rebels, that's when you started rewriting the Thrawn novels, or not rewriting them, but writing the new ones, and like kind of, I guess, rewriting his origin, I suppose.
I've never really gotten too deeply into the origins. There's nothing in the later books that contradicts anything I wrote elsewhere.
I'm going to stop it right there. This is an important quote, and Zahn has said this before. Right? Timothy Zahn has said the same quote on other interviews and to other people, and it's been published before. He says, I never wrote anything in the later books, the new ones, that contradicts anything I wrote elsewhere. Well, is that true? I mean, do you feel that that's true? Do you feel that the Heir to the Empire, Thrawn, had the same motivations, the same backstory, the same moral compass, or that he has in the new books, right? I'm going to actually stop this poll, and I'm going to start another one, okay? So I'm going to end this poll, and I'm going to start another that says, do you think that Thrawn in new canon has the same motivations as I'll put Heir to the Empire Thrawn, right? And that's abbreviated H2TE, Heir to the Empire Thrawn, right? And I'll just leave that as yes and no. All right, so those are your answers, yes or no. Do you think that Thrawn of the new canon has the same motivations as Heir to the Empire Thrawn? Zahn says that they're the same. Nothing contradicts. So I went back. Hey, Nick, good to see you. Oh, he's currently on a boat trip in Budapest. Wow, fantastic. I hope it's a fantastic boat ride, that you have great weather and you're enjoying your trip out there. Nick, thanks for dropping in. I went back after I heard Timothy Zahn say this. I went back and I listened to audiobooks version, and I wanted to see. Actually, I did the audiobook version, and I read the comic book version. Right, so I read both of those to see, do I get the same motivation from Thrawn in Heir to the Empire as I do in the new novels? And I say, well, it's a stretch, right? It is a stretch. Seth says, I hope they drop the Mando trailer this week. Star Wars social media is pure crickets. I don't think they will, Seth. They'll put it in the D23 for those in attendance, but they're not going to release it. Pretty confident of that, right? I'd put my $2 on no. If I were to put a $2 bet, I'd put it on no. But anyway, so I re-listened to these novels, and I think it's a stretch for Timothy Zahn to say that the Thrawn of Heir to the Empire has no contradictions with anything he wrote elsewhere. That being said, if you listen to the Heir to the Empire, or you read it, you go back and read the graphic novel of it, nothing in those novels reveal Thrawn's full motivation. Yeah, he's going to take over as the heir to the Empire. He's trying to amass power. And if you watch his actions, he does things that pretend to be a threat that are not a threat to psychologically defeat his enemies rather than pure like artillery, right? He's not just taking them out. In Rebels, however, there is a pure just artillery takeout, right? Does it contradict? I mean, you kind of got to stretch to get there as well. If you go back to the Heir to the Empire, read it for Thrawn's motivations. It's never fully revealed. So you read the new novels with the full understanding of his motivation, his core character, and what his thoughts and motives are. And you go back to the Heir to the Empire, there is some consistency if you read it in. The problem is that we had Heir to the Empire for decades before we got the new Thrawn novels, and nothing there told us those motivations, so people read into those motivations more of a sinister character. And with people who grew up with Heir to the Empire, with Thrawn as the villain, Thrawn as the enemy, read into the character a lot of motives of just a bad guy. Power hungry, intelligent leader. I don't even know if leader is the right term, but we'll use that term. Who takes power and leads the empire as the new head of the empire, not emperor, so to speak, but is heir to the empire. He takes this Grand Admiral Thrawn. He is the top dog because he's the smartest, the most clever, brilliant tactician, and you have no motivations other than that. Other than maybe he's power hungry and he's going to be the boss because he's the boss. You have nothing else. And so for decades, you read into that this guy is a power hungry, just brilliant tactician. And we get none of that from the new, if you want to put it that way. And this guy is kind of asking it from that framework. This guy's saying, well, the new Thrawn seems different than the old Thrawn. And Timothy Zahn says, no, he's not. Like, I don't know, Tim. I don't know. Only that the old one didn't have those expressly given. So we'll take it from here and see what else does Tim say.
So, he is the same character. He's just a new political, military situation, and he is placed in new people to interact with.
So there he goes. He's the same character. He's exactly the same, right? That's what Tim's saying. All right.
Yeah,
it
is really cool seeing how he interacts with the regular Imperial military, and then with characters like Tarkin and Vader, because Thrawn is such a very different character compared to them. He's like Sherlock Holmes, but with the morality of Moriarty.
Okay. So that comment has been said before too, that Thrawn has the brilliant mind of a Sherlock Holmes, but with the morality of a Moriarty. So if you're familiar with Holmesian tradition, legacy, canon, that you kind of get a picture. And he kind of laughs at that response. He doesn't acknowledge that that's true. Catch what he says.
Well, again, the protection of the Chiss ascendancy. So
there he goes. He goes, look, it's protection of the Chiss ascendancy. That's his motivation. Meg covered this really, really well when she covered this story. That's what Thrawn's motivation has been. What it is. It's protection of the Chiss ascendancy. Protection of the Chiss ascendancy against what? Against what? What is he protecting it from? Well, we know it's the Grisk, but we have nothing in Dave Filoni's Thrawn stories of the Grisk. And will he use them? Will he address Thrawn's motives? You see here where Zahn is very clear, right here in this interview, regardless of anything else he said earlier. Here he says it's about the protection of the Chiss ascendancy. Right, so let's go on.
Wherever he deems you are falling on that, whether you're an opponent of that or whether you're an ally of that, is how he's going to judge whether you are somebody to be defeated or someone to be enlisted.
And actually, let's talk about the Thrawn ascendancy, because with the new Thrawn trilogy, like Thrawn and Alliances, the new one, the ascendancy, goes back even further. Right. So can you talk about that and writing him actually in Chiss society and his upbringing there?
Yeah, it is set near the end of the Clone Wars, out in the unknown regions. This is Thrawn before he arrives in the Empire, dealing with threats to his people. So the great part about this, and one of the wonderful things about being a science fiction author in general, is the world building. I got to build the Chiss culture, military, politics, basically from the ground up.
Okay, I'm going to stop there again. And I see we've got Baymax is in the chat. Good to see you, Baymax. He stopped in and said, just been lying on a surfboard in the North Sea. You know, you guys just rubbing it into Santa, sitting here at North Pole in the basement. I'm not sitting in the sunshine out on the ocean or on the sea and taking in the waves and the fresh air. No, certainly not. No. Good to see you, Baymax. Thank you so much for dropping in. Mike says, Baymax, are you going for the HasLab? I can tell you if he doesn't respond, yes, he is. He's doing everything he can to draw attention to it and try to gain more support for it. In fact, Baymax have been going back and forth, Baymax and I, about how could we get a message to one of the biggest prequel trilogy fans on the planet, the guy who can have the biggest voice to get a message out to prequel fans, who is a huge prequel stan. How can you get a message to Star Wars Theory to draw attention to this HasLab? And certainly if Theory could get attention on it, perhaps they could get more backers. Because certainly Theory would talk about the importance of having this vehicle in the Battle of Geonosis, right? Certainly he would. And Baymax is just trying to figure out how can he get a message to Theory that way. In a couple of weeks, I'll be on the beach in Bulgaria in the Black Sea. Oh, you son of a gun. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, there you go. Fits. All right, so Zahn talks about world building. And one of the things that Brittany asked earlier is about where he would go afterwards. I'm going to go back to Brittany's comment again because it's absolutely great. That he would have Thrawn finish the Empire mission, then return to the Chiss. That's what I want. I really, really want. I don't want Dave to kill him. I know in Heir to the Empire, Zahn killed him. But now that's Legends. And Thrawn has a different kind of future ahead of him rather than what happened in Heir to the Empire. A lot has changed in the Star Wars canon between when Timothy wrote the original Heir to the Empire and where we are now. I hope that Dave leaves Thrawn alive. When all is said and done, that Thrawn finishes his mission with the Empire and returns to the Chiss ascendancy. Well, how could that happen? Right? How could that happen? Well, it would have to be with somehow defeating the Grisk in a definitive manner. So in Ahsoka, we have to learn what Thrawn's motives are. We have to learn that Thrawn is trying to return as heir to the Empire to gain enough force to join with the Chiss ascendancy to address the risk and the threat that the Grisk pose to all of the Empire, the galaxy, the unknown regions, the Chiss ascendancy, to everything. We have to learn that in Ahsoka season 2 and and I hope this is the way it goes. This is the way I could see it go. If we learn that, if Dave uses that in Ahsoka season 2, and whatever the conflict is, however it goes, I know that Ahsoka season 2, part of it involves the whole ordeal with I just lost the name again. Just a second. I'll just go back up to your comments. I can see it. Mortis. They have to retell the Mortis arc in some manner, and that's why, like, Ewan's doing homework. Right? They're learning about the Mortis arc because they're going to retell that. That's a big part, or that is a part of Ahsoka season 2. Yes, and as Brittany says, there's this battle with Akbar that Dave kind of promised that Thrawn and Akbar are going to be doing some battle. But if he introduces the risk of the kiss and Thrawn telling them, you guys have got to stop this nonsense. I've got to get enough power to defeat these people. They're going to come in and wipe you all out. We have to do this. And if Ahsoka can end on a little bit of a cliffhanger where the Grisk actually appear and Thrawn says, look, I told you so. You guys got to come with me. And enemies become allies. And the allies take on the Grisk in Dave's movie. It would be a great way to pull everything in. Talk about some sort of Avengers style movie. You could have the Chiss, right? You could have the Chiss ascendancy come in with Eli Vanto. You could have the Mandalorians come in with Bo-Katan. You could have Mando and Grogu. You could have what are they called? The Xwing fighters and all that, right? The new Rebel Alliance kind of people, except they're not the Rebel Alliance. Anyway, you could get the new Republic fighting there, bring everybody together to fight the Grisk in Dave's movie. That would be a huge, huge event. You'd have all the wars in Star Wars. You could bring Ahsoka in. You could bring Luke Skywalker in. Luke Skywalker could be the hero of the Jedi who comes in to fight to defeat these Grisk. It could be a fantastic story, exciting story. And then at the end of that, the Grisk are completely defeated. Thrawn bows out and says adieu and back to the Chiss ascendancy, right? That's my wish. That's my hope. That's my dream. And I see your comments, Brittany. I see you. Let me just go back up. I don't think Dave will not give Thrawn character development besides of a rebel bully. Dave will kill Thrawn off. I fear it. I fear he's going to go the direction of heir to the Empire, where Thrawn is like literally backstabbed and dies. And I fear that that's what Dave will do. That he'll kill him. I really do. Ahsoka will learn about the Chiss Skywalker's powers to navigate space lanes. I hope so, Mike. That would be awesome. If Zahn created Thrawn, I can't see Dave killing him off without Zahn's permission. I fear. Look, I'm worried. I'm worried only because Tim has repeatedly said that nobody talks to him. He's not been involved. We have more of the interview to go through too, so I want to get back to that. Aggressively relaxing. Hello, my friend. I've seen your comments here a couple times. Thank you for being here. All of the Star Wars has building up towards the galaxy, versus versus the Grisk. Why the theme park is Galaxy's Edge. Bless you. Yes. Yes, that's what I hope so. Brittany says if Vanto did not show up in Thrawn's cameo in Tales, he won't show up. Oh, please. I know. But Eli Vanto, come on. We get a question about that in just a second. We'll get back to the Jedi Mike. Aglax, stop making sense. Stop it. You just stop it. Right? Look, I agree with you, Brittany. I'm worried. This is my fear, but I want to be optimistic. I want to hope, right? So let's get back to the interview because he does talk about Eli Vanto in that here.
I had a couple of tent poles of something about their society in the previous books, but here I was able to flesh all that out and to just build a system which I think would hold together, be stable, and just something that as a backdrop for his battles against the threats to his people and such. So
he says battles against the threats to his people. Well, that's the Grisk. What he means there, and he's not using insider baseball term to talk about the Grisk. He says the threats, which is kind of smart on Timothy's part to not use the inside baseball term. People like the what? So he uses a term, the threats to his people and such.
And again, more people, different people this time, the Chiss for him to interact with, some of whom appreciate him, some respect him, some hate him.
And, you also, of course, got to introduce brand new characters who have become fan favorites, like Eli Vanto. I always see a question of, like, when are we going to see Eli Vanto again?
When they when I get to talk to him about new books.
Here we go. I'm going to stop it right here because I think he gave us the answer. Right? So the interviewer says, when are we going to get to see Eli Vanto again? And Thrawn says, well, when they talk to me. That's what Zahn says. When they talk to me again. Right? Let me go back. Right? I'm gonna replay this part, and we're gonna really dig into what Timothy Zahn says here. Right? Are we going to see Eli Vanto again? And Timothy Zahn says,
when I get to
when,
talk to him
when they talk, when I get to talk to them, they're not talking to him. And this aligns with what Brittany has said. It aligns with what Gray has said. It's aligned to things that he said in other interviews. Nobody from Lucasfilm's talking to Timothy Zahn. Dave is not calling Timothy Zahn to say, hey, buddy, I'm getting ready to do this story, and I want to make sure that I get your guy right. I want to make sure that we set this up correctly with what you have in line. Discussion's not been had. Does Dave Filoni? Okay, I'm going to ask another question. Here we go. Do you think Thrawn and New Canon has the same motives as Heir to the Empire? 56% of you say no. I agree. I don't. Look, I think it's a stretch. I'm going to ask you another question. Start a poll. Do you think? You think that Dave Filoni knows who Eli Vanto is? There we go. New question. Do you think Dave Filoni even knows who Eli Vanto is? You think he's ever heard of Eli Vanto? Do you think Dave Filoni has any clue who Eli Vanto is? So let's go. Let's get back here. Yeah, Santa is pole happy today. We are at the North Pole. So I'll leave it there. So let's get back into this question, right? He says, when I get to talk to them about new books, and this is what Brittany brought up when she talked to him in 2024, that he wanted Thrawn to go back to the Chiss Ascendancy after he completed things with the Empire, right? So let's get into this. It says,
and when they tell me what I can use, what I can't use. So all of that hopefully in the near future, but I've been saying that since 2021.
Yeah.
So.
And how does that feel to, like, even still in this new, like, canon and new novels that you're, like, there are still new characters that fans are latching on that you created. And Thrawn, even 30 years later, he's such a big influence still.
It's very gratifying that I connected well enough with the readers, that Thrawn connected well enough that he has continued to be a presence in the Star Wars universe. He continues to rise in popularity, and I hope that when I get to do more books, I will keep that going. I will not disappoint the readers.
There you go. How do you like that? He says, hopefully I get a call soon, and hopefully I get to continue this story. And when I do, I will not disappoint the readers. Right? I've got more stories
Great.
to tell.
Well, thank you very much for speaking with us.
That's the end of the interview. So, look, that's it. That's what we got. What we have. But some say Zahn has told them that Thrawn's story ends with last command. Well, that was his original, right? And if he told you he was going to take him back to the Chiss ascendancy last year, it's possible that he still has more stories to tell. In fact, we've heard many times that he has more stories to tell with Thrawn. The question is, will he be able to tell them after the Mandoverse, or does he have to do sort of the backpedaling bit and tell us maybe what has been going on with Thrawn in Peridia all these years? There's certainly a story to be told there as well. And this is, again, where Meg did a brilliant job today. Meg did a brilliant job because she went down that rabbit hole. If Dave finishes Thrawn's story in the Mandoverse with him dying in his movie, in a last command kind of fashion, right? If Dave's kind of trying to do that, and then what are these other stories that we could get? Well, it could be in Peridia. And there's a lot of stories in Peridia that are kind of already set up with like the Zepho. And we have this whole bit here now with Mortis, to tie into the Mortis arc and these giant statues. We have the backstory of the witches, the Dathomir, who came from Peridia. We have other planets in that universe that have not been discussed or told. What has Thrawn been doing all these years? What adventures has he had? What kind of other interactions has he had over this time? We don't know any of that. So that could be where the story goes from here. Yeah, Baymax says he backed 2 gunships. Aggressively relaxing. To play devil's advocate, if I wasn't allowed to talk about things, an easy strategy to get out of talking about it would say, I don't know. That's true. That's true. Raymond Lubus. Hello, Raymond. Oh, good to see you. First time I've seen your name here. Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining the conversation. This is Galad Paleon. Now, there's a good name. What about Paleon? You go back to the legend stories where Paleon was used outside of Zahn, right? So his story carries on. But there's more of a role, or will he be delegated to a cameo to live action? Will we get more of a shadow council? Oh, well, you've kind of opened up you've kind of opened up a little bit of a door here. The Shadow Council is part of Mando Grogu movie to a degree. I can't reveal too much in that space, other than you do see some hint of the Shadow Council in the Mando Grogu trailer that has leaked out, and I think they'll show it again at D23. But the Shadow Council is part of where we're headed. I think that's all I can say. I think that's it. You could also kill Thrawn, but still explain his machinations are being carried out from the grave because he was so brilliant. Well, they sort of did that in Legends as well, right? Those are options. Certainly things they could do with Thrawn following here. Let's see what you guys said on my on the latest poll said, do you think Dave Filoni knows who Eli Vanto is? Almost 80% of you say yes. I think Dave knows who he is. 20% say no. All right. Well, we shall see. We shall see. I have my hopes. I have my dreams. And I'm going to hold on to them to the very bitter end. I'm just going to cling on to those dreams that we're going to see this Heir to the Empire movie that Dave's going to do, right? And let's just use that term. People are using it. I don't think it's an accurate term, but let's just say that that's the movie. Following Ahsoka season 2, Dave's movie that comes down our line, my hope, my absolute prayer is that we get this battle that I described that brings enemies in to be allies to fight against the Grisk. We see that Thrawn was correct in wanting to gain the power of the Empire to fight against the Grisk. I hope we get it. I don't have a high degree of confidence, but boy, my hope is sky high. Let's see. I see you guys in the chat going on. Can't stay, but wanted to say hello. Thank you, Sabersmith. Thank you. There's another collector in our community. I think Thrawn was in Outward Flight. Yes, he was, Fitz. Well, not the real Thrawn. There's an imitation Thrawn that comes in. Yeah, even if Dave knows who Eli Vanto is, does he care? And would he do anything? Right? Every day that ends in a Y is a new hope. That's right. That's right. I'm with you, Jedi Mike. Okay, that's it. That's what I had for that. I want to get into this build, the 3D Xwing build. Before I do, just in case you guys aren't going to say it, I'm going to do the Mike Porter dad joke. I'm going to do that now, and then you get a little bonus content afterwards where we'll go back into building this Xwing, and I'll try to knock off a couple more steps in the build, maybe get a wing attached. That would be great. Oh, here we go. The Mike Porter dad joke, and this is from last Friday, but I had to postpone to today. He says, did you know that there's a shopping center on Tatooine? You know, we're all aware of the cantina, right? We're all very aware of the cantina, the Mos Eisley spaceport, hive of the scum and villainy. But there's a shopping center on Tatooine as well. And this shopping center, he says, yeah, it has all the popular shops like the Jabba the Hutt, Boba's Boba Tea, Jawa's Pawn Shop, and Tusker Raiders Outfitters. Oh, very well done, Mike Porter. That was excellent. An excellent dad joke. Used all the characters. You put it right into the theme. And I broke his dad joke down into an additional bonus part. He says, yeah, but do you know the name of this shopping center? So this was in the original dad joke, but I broke it out. There's a name to this shopping center. You know, every shopping center has a name to reference. Well, the name of this shopping center, it's called the Mall. Well done, Mike Porter. Yes, indeed, our chosen pun, the chosen pun himself. We have Mike Porter right there, the chosen pun. And be sure you're following Mike Porter on platform formerly known as Twitter, and there's a link to his account right there. Also, in the Megalorians Discord, yes, he posts his dad jokes in there as well. So, good job, Mike Porter. That's a strong one. Really well done. All right. So at this point, we're going to drop into this build, and I'm gonna drop in here. I gotta put on the Santa glasses because I'm old. I just turned 58. If you don't know, I turned 58 years old this summer, and I had LASIK vision correction done, so I can see medium and distant, but I cannot see up close hardly at all. The LASIK took that away because that's all I could see before. So now I can see these others. So we've got the chassis, the main fuselage built here for this. Oh, and I should bring this up as well before you guys head on out. Make sure you're doing the things, please. Like the show, subscribe, share it to other people. Let them know that they're doing. And if you really want to support the channel, we would appreciate you join us over on Patreon. And we provide these weekly meetings you can attend, or you become a member here on YouTube. It means a lot to us. So just subscribing, sharing, viewing, commenting, that does tremendous amount for the channel. It really helps us out. So thank you for that. And so we'll go back into the toy close up here where I can share this. Fitz says I'll be 55 in October, so he's catching up. And Jedi Mike is also 51 and a half. He's a youngling. Just a youngling, Mike. Jedi Mike. All right, so I share this with you guys. We're up to step 5 right here, and we've got to get B17 and C4. Our next parts, B17 and C4, and we're going to put these together. They've got some instruction. We have to also get C1, C2, C3, and C18. So how do you like that camera? Didn't that camera do a nice job? So we're gonna find these parts first, right? We're gonna look for these parts. I'll keep watching your chat. You guys can stay here. That'd be great. And these are all B's on this sheet. I need a lot of C's. But we need B17. The B17, that's this piece right here. Right? It's this main piece right here. We're going to need to take this out. It's a crispy cam. Thank you. Yes, we should make a building the Xwing bingo sheet. D17 bingo. So there we go. We'll pop this big piece out here. This is the main fuselage piece right there. All right, we're going to need this. And what's left on our B sheet? Oh, look. We have B3 all by himself. B3 is hanging out there all by himself. Oh, my goodness. When are we going to use B3? He's lonely. He's lonely. So we've got B17. And then we need C4. C4. So here's our C sheet. Now this is A's. Look, A isn't done yet either. We got one piece left right here. We have this one piece A, and I don't even have. Oh, this is just a tool. This is a punch out tool. I see. So there, we can take this out. This is a punch out tool. This is just mean to help you in punching out some of the little tags. So we'll take that out, and I think then A is completely empty. There we go. A is empty. We can get rid of A. That can go. We'll put that away. Sabersmith. Also, one thing I know, not everyone is excited for Visions, but I am. I'm excited to see where the stories go. Me too. Me too, Sabersmith. There's a lot of good Star Wars coming. We've got the Lego Star Wars story to come. We have got Visions to come. So 2025 is not done. We're not done with Star Wars in 2025. All right. I need to find C4. So C4. Oh, we haven't used any. This is our first piece off of the C board right here. We need C4. All right, so it's right here. Punch it out. There's C4. We'll set it aside. And then we need C1, 2, 3, and 18. So C1 here. There's one. C2 right next to it, right there. C3 right next to it there. Okay. Got those three. And 1, 2, 3, and 18. So where's 18? 18 is right here. Punch it out. Right there. Ooh. All right. I'm going to set this down because I know we're going to come right back to this. Come right back to the C sheet. So this is the example. So that little black tool that I set down, where did I set it down? I punched it out. Where did I put it? Santa, where did you put the punch out tool? Let's see. It's not there. Yeah, I don't know where I put it. Oh my goodness. But you know what? I've got a different tool that I use. And I use the X-Acto knife here. Do you guys see the black punch out tool? Huh? Do you see it? I don't see it. It's not here. Not there. Not way over here. Not sitting on top of a C sheet here. Didn't fall down to the D. Oh, there it is. Found it. Haha. Fell down to my keyboard. There you go. So you can punch these little tags out. Right there, there's a green and a purple. Right? There's a green and a purple tag. We're going to punch those out using our little punch out tool. Right? So it's got this right here. Punch that piece out. Punch this piece out right there. And then it looks like there's a number of them to be punched out on the other sheet. Santa threw it on the floor. It slipped when you moved the paper. It did. It fell right on my keyboard. So I found it. Thank you. Let's see. Here's a punch out right here. I'll get that. There. Here's another punch out. Oh, the punch out tool works great. Here's another one. Got to go. Got to get rid of those. Okay, I think we got all of them. This one's still hanging on. Here. All right, there we go. There's that. And then we got this big piece. We got several punch outs here. Got to take care of. There's one. There's one. Here. Pull these tags off. Well, this has got a whole bunch of them actually. There's another. Get these off here. The Baymax, if you're still hanging out, do you think that the gunship still has a chance, or is it already dead? Do you think it has a chance? I want to hope that it makes it. I want to hope that it has a chance. You can also use it to widen holes instead of making them like R2's head. Oh, you watched Skywalker's Academy. You saw what happened. Oh, excellent. So we can do that to kind of help with these. There's 14 days left, Skywalker's Academy. 14 days on the gunship. So just punching out these. Oh, now this is interesting. Not quite sure what to do. I'm going to hold off on punching that out, but we do have two more down here to punch out. Just show you what I'm seeing. This is perforated. It's perforated around this box here. This box is kind of perforated. I'm not sure what we need to do with that just yet. Same thing here. We've got some perforation around each of these little boxes. I don't know if they come all the way out. So we'll wait. We'll wait and read. In fact, I can see right here. So I'll show you. See here? They've got these boxes all punched out. These big boxes are all punched out. So we'll go ahead and punch them out. Right, that should be easy. There we go. It's got to go. This is trash. It goes over there. Dump that one out. This one comes out. And this one comes out right here. There we go. All punch out right there. Right, so you can see. Oh, I missed a couple. Over here. That punch out tool is going to kill me. All right, so let's see. Got a little tag right there to get. Another little tag here to pop out. And then there's two right here. Little guys. Real tiny. Right. Oh, 3730. Deal. Skywalker's Academy. So we got all these little holes punched out. in here. I didn't see those initially. Got those out. All right, so now it has us laying this down this way. B-17. What do they got? Understand. I do not understand. Oh, it looks like you're supposed to fold this up. Yeah, that's what it's showing. So this piece here, it folds up. They've got it right here. They got you folding it up, and then here it's at a 90-degree angle. So we'll take this, we'll fold it just like that. Or down is more accurate, but we've got it upside down. So this folds this way. Then they have us attaching all of these together. So 3 and 2 go into 1. And I've shown this before, but I'll show you again. So if I take C18, wait a second. Hold on, I'm a step ahead. I got to get C1. Okay, here's C1. More things to pop out. More things to pop out right here. Second. Pop these out. Just 4 little holes here. Right. You guys see this okay? I think you can. Looks good to me. All right, we'll pop these out. And I love the color coding they put on these, right? So you can see right on here, right, on C1, it's got this purple diamond and the orange diamond kind of shapes. And you could tell what's going to go where just by looking at those diamonds. And when we get the next 2 pieces, you'll see. So C3, this is 2. Here's 3. Oh, we got some pieces to punch out on 3. Okay, so we'll punch these out here. There's 3. There we go. All right. So C3 here, it goes in. And what they do here to help you is you've got this orange diamond here and an orange diamond here. And that's where those are going to attach. Right? Orange diamond to orange diamond. Makes it pretty easy when you're trying to figure out where do these things go. Right? Orange diamond to orange diamond. Go right there. Just like that. So then we take C2. C2 has the purple diamond on it. Purple diamond to purple diamond. Same thing, right? Oops, careful. I want to get that seated in there really well. I also want to be careful not to damage things, right? We'll get this. Why Santa's got his glasses on. I've got to get this up close, right? So I'm going to bring this off of that screen, and you can see me fighting with it here, just to make sure I get these seated into that slot, right? And that one's not wanting to cooperate. So, as Skywalker's Academy says, you can use this to kind of widen it. So I'm going to take this tool, and I'm going to put it in there, and I'm going to rock it back and forth. Try to open this up just a little better, right? So that maybe this will go in without being damaged too much, right? Got to go through. Might have already damaged it, Dale. I might have already done the damage. Santa, you're not supposed to force these cardboard pieces, because you know what happens when you force them? They bend. When they bend, then you're in trouble. So I'm going to squeeze it right here, and I'm going to try to get it to fit through there. See if I can grab it and pull it through. I'm not going to fight it too much, because there's a lot of infrastructure that goes around this, and I don't think it's going to matter terribly much, right? Send it to Pelimoto, right? Send it to Pelimoto. She might fix it, right? It's already borked. Yeah. Brian, remember that song, right? Don't play B-17. It was our song. It's his song. Yeah, it's already borked. Yeah, I already borked it. So there you go. And then C18 goes right on the back. So here's C18. Again, we've got the color coding. There's orange circle and green circle. And if we go to the back, you can see on here, there's a purple circle right there, green circle right there, purple circle, green circle. So they go right together. And so I'm not going to bork this one. I'm not going to bork it. I promise. So let me just make sure I get it right. All right. So purple goes to purple. Be careful. All right. And this one's, be real careful here. Right there. It just shimmied right on there. And green goes to green. Shimmy it on. Like shimmy, shimmy, shake, shake. Shimmy, shake. Right? Well, you're Irish, Fitz. You probably don't know how to spell a lot of things. Oh, shots fired. You deserve it, though, right? You deserve it. The Irishmen, they probably can't spell. They can barely speak. That's all I'm saying. Shots fired. You have it coming. But my problem is Baymax is here too. I'm outnumbered because Baymax is also Irishman, and I don't want to start a fight I can't win. Fighting words. All right, here we go. We've got this sub-assembly on, and then it wants us to take the sub-assembly and put it right into here. Right, so this fits right onto the base here. Right, again, this is going to fit really well. Right, here we go. This is very nice. It's snapping right in place. Don't bork it. Right, as my friend Skywalker's Academy said. Right, you don't want it borked. Right, that one. There we go. Don't worry, we defeated the English. Oh, we did too. We have that in common. Right? So there you go. All right. Where are English participants? Where's Meg been hiding? She's one of those English we could give a hard time. All right, so now we need C4. Right, we got to take this piece, and as it describes here, C4. We got to do a little bit of folding, and it's going to fit right over what we just built. Okay, so we're going to take this. So we got that. We got C4 here, and let's see how's this supposed to go. It's got it this way. We're going to fold this down. Right, we're going to fold this down, and then we got to take this, and it's got to fold down. Right, it's creased right there. I got to fold this down. There, so that we can get these attached. Right? So it's got see, got the wing piece here. What are you talking about here? Diagram. Hold on. This goes this way. Oh, these two pieces go down in here. Okay, I see that. This goes here and here. Don't bork them. All right. These need a little more convincing. So I'm going to just do a little clearing out. All right. We're going to clear that out a little bit. Take this. Clear it out a little bit. Right. Get this. Have to bend the big one, right? I think so. Skywalker's Academy. There we go. This fits right in there now. And then, so, right, this fit down into these pegs here, right, here and here. And then you can see these holes here are going to fit right into the slots on the back side, right? And again, we got to be real careful. And I think they need some more convincing, right? Because these two pieces here. They don't want to be, it doesn't look like they want to fit. So we'll give that a little extra separation. There we go. Look at that. That snapped right in. And then I can see like there's a little tab right here for this piece to slip into. right? So that's going to snap right down into that piece. And then finally, yep. And Dale, you got this exactly right. All right. Fitz says, you defeated the English first. We just took the scenic route. Right. You guys, we softened them up for you. Right. Dale, you have to bend the big one, right? Yes. So that's what I'm fixing to do here. And I can see what it's talking about now, right? So this piece here, this tab is going to go right in that slot, right? So we're going to bend it. I'm confused. Does it bend the other way? Hold on a second. If it bends, which way does it bend? Got to bend this way, right? If it bends this way, I see. Hold on. All right, so we're going to take this. It goes this way. And then, right, this goes this way. And then this is going to go right in this. This tab is going to go right in that slot. Now, that's not wanting to cooperate, so I'm going to have to be careful again, right? Dale says, no, maybe. Yeah, yes. Right, right. Thank you, Dale. Dale's a good coach. He's making sure I don't work it up again. I love that word, Dale. I'm going to use it. I'm just going to keep using that word. That's the best word of the day. Here we go. I'm going to do that. Then I think I can get this to go right in the tab. So we're going to bring this up here again so I can not mess it up. There it goes. There it goes. Oh, that's nice. Okay, there we go. Right? We're good. We're golden. Right? Slot fits right in there. This guy's happy. Everything's good. So far, so good. Right? So far. Now that's starting to look right. That's starting to look right. Okay, so there's that step. Now, move on to the next step. And we have, we need the 8 and then 12, 13, and 14. 8, 12, 13, and 14 off the C sheet. All right, let's see here. Where's 8? Well, there's 12. Of course, they don't put these next to each other. Here's 8. Okay. So pop the 8 out right there. Right. There's 8. And then I saw 12 is here. Let's take 12. And they're all right in a row. So here's 12. Right next to it is 13. Right here. Try out. Right. And then I need 14 right here. There we go. 12, 13, and 14. This one here is tearing the card a little bit. I think we're fine. It just tore the paper a little bit on the backside of this card. Doesn't matter, right? Fitz, I gotta go. Talk to you on Wednesday. Thanks, Fitz. Appreciate it. All right, so 12, 13, 14. We're going to take these here and see what we're supposed to do. So 12. Oh, I can also see, got to pop out some tabs here. All right, so this one, and I'm going to pop out this little tab. Right, easy. Out it goes. Looks like a little turtle. Little turtle piece. Okay, so 12. We hold it this way. Here's 8, C8, and we've got a green circle right there, green circle right here, and it shows that we take 13, but it doesn't tell us which way 13 is supposed to go. I don't think it matters. 13 then just slides right on. Right. As long as it goes this way, there's no front back. And then 12, here's C12. 12 is going to go right over here. Goes. Now this one's not marked with the little color coding, so you just got to kind of figure it out. All right, so 12 goes right there. Nice. And then we've got to take 14. It's the back piece, and it's got to go. Yeah, it did tear. Tore just a little bit. This paper's torn just a little bit. So what I'm going to do to fix that, I'm going to take a little bit of glue, and we've got our handy glue here. We're going to take this and we're going to put a little dab will do ya right in there to put that paper back. All right, a little tiny dab of glue. I'll put the paper back so that it's right back intact. There we go. All right, so we glued that back down here. Paper was torn. So there, we got that back. Then this guy attaches right to the back, right here. Real easy. Okay, there we go. All right, so now we've got this built. We're going to set it aside just for a minute. And it says we need C10. C10 is this big piece here, and it looks like it's going to wrap sort of around. Yeah, see, we're going to make a tube right there. And then we need 15. We need 10 and 15. So let's take 10, C10, and C15. I'm going to close the glue up here. I don't want to spill. Right. C10, C10, not on this side. This looks like it right here. There's C10 right there. Need this. Ooh. Come loose. And then we need 15. 15's right here. Right. There we go. 10 and 15. Just so you see, here's 10. Right, C10, and it's got all these, right, so it's going to curve. It's going to make this tube, right? We want to take it, right, bend it right along these little creases, and go. Now, I can see right there's a couple tabs that got to come out. We'll take care of those tabs here as well. This got to bend. Okay, and that's the back side. Okay, so we can do that. Then pop these little turkeys out. Right, there we go. That one. Another here. Here, I'll put it up here so you guys can see what I'm doing. Right, I'm just. Right. You are not working. I take the X-Acto knife in there. And then we got this guy here. He's got to go. There we go. We got this one. Got to go. There. Oh, that one's not cooperating. Okay. And we got that one out. I'll clean them up with that. I think the extractor tool is the right thing to do next. And so I'm just popping these out first. They're all through here. Get the X-Acto knife to pop them out, and then we'll take our extractor tool. Right now it's time to put this guy in there and make sure they're really freed up, because we need the space, these things to attach. We don't want to cause problems when we go to put them together. This extractor tool is kind of handy. I like it. I like it a lot. And I know, Dale, you built like a Star Destroyer, something like that, right? Or was that Anthony? I thought it was you. Did you build the Star Destroyer, or was it Anthony? Okay, so there's 10. right? And then we've got, here's our other piece. This is C15. C15 has got two sides to it here. Got this side that's got the like red markings on it. Oh, it must have been Anthony. Okay. There we go. C15, inside, outside. Okay, we'll take that one next. So, first step, set this here, says to take C10 this way, and it's going to attach onto our constructed bit here, right? So, there's this piece at the bottom. Going to go in there. And we're going to just work our way around, getting the tabs into the slots. All right, we want the tab to go into the slot. We don't want to bend any. Oh, come on now. Okay, well, that's okay. We'll get this one on the back, and then we can slide it back. Okay. That on there. That on there. Okay. Still not cooperating. I have to find it a bit more. Golly, Ned. That is some work. All right, so there it goes. There it goes. Well, you can tell when you get it right because it just goes right on. Okay. So there's that piece on the back. Oh, beautiful. Brilliant. Look at that. I'll just show you guys. Look how well these are slotted right in there. And then I can slide this back on. Oops. Slide this way. I might have to undo one or two here. Get this back on. There we go. And then attach. We've got more of these tiny little pieces here. The slot's got to fit. There we go. There's another slot. Up a little better. You can see there's that slot, and I got to get it in here as well. Ooh, now that one doesn't want to line up. This slot does not want to line up to the hole. I don't like that. I do not like that. This fits in just fine. This guy back here is not. Let's see. Let's see. What do I have wrong? Because that should. This lines up. And that lines up. More or less. But this guy here. Woo! He is way off. He's not like even close. Wow. Okay, I think this one's got to be like super widened, right? Star Wars dog. Hey. Who do you think's going to win Saturday? Texas or Ohio State? Huh? Who's going to win Saturday? Texas or Ohio State? I'm worried. I'll tell you that. I have no confidence in my Buckeyes. I wish I did. I wish I could say Ohio State's going to easily take the game. Yeah, look at you. You're not going to argue with me, are you? I wish I could say Ohio State was going to win that game. But boy, maybe they'll look, this will be the proof if Ohio State's going to be a real like national contender or not. If they can come in and beat Texas, it's at home. We're playing here. If we can beat Texas here, there we go. Look, Dale, I followed your advice. I widened that hole so I didn't bork it up. And when I widened that hole, it fell right in place. So now I've got another one here that's wanting to. There it goes. There it goes. We've got it right on there. Oh, that's brilliant. absolutely brilliant. Look at that. Aha! Fantastic. Woo! That was hard. All right, so now we got this. We got to bend this other one around. C15, red side out. All right, we got to kind of get it wrapped to fit on the other piece. So we're going to do this. All right. We're going to do this and get it pre-bent. That kind of makes a tube. I want this to be a tube. Dog says OSU is just too much of an unknown, but we could be surprised. And if they lose the first game, they may still contend by the end of the year. That's true. Look, we've got 3 potential losses this year, right? Texas, Penn State, and Michigan. We can't lose to Michigan again. That team up north has been in our brains. We've got to beat them. We've got to beat them this year. Even with 2 losses, Penn State and Texas, I think we're maybe in the conversation. With just 1 loss to Texas, we're certainly in the conversation. So that's not a game. It's not a season ender by any means. But boy, oh boy, you don't want to start off with that loss, do you? All right, we're going to take this guy, and he fits right onto. Now, I don't understand this. Oh, I've got it backwards. Haha. Okay. Santa, don't be dumb. Don't be dumb. There's a good life advice for you right there. Right? Life advice. Don't be dumb. Okay, so this shows this going this way on the back. I see. Okay, so see the slots right there? Right, we got these tabs right here. The tabs go into the slots. Right, so we just got to, this should not be so hard. Right, so we're just going to take them. And we're going to fit these tabs into these slots. Just like that. 1, 2, 4. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wiggle, wiggle. All right, I got to bring this up close. Something's not lined up. I see you. I see you right there. If I can get these tabs to go into the slots. That's harder than you think. It looked like it would just be straightforward. But again, we have a little bit of an alignment issue. And the alignment is making it a bit of a challenge. And my big, fat, dumb fingers. Right? Don't bork it. As Dale would say, don't bork it up. Don't do it. Get it right. Okay. We're going to follow Skywalker's Academy. We're going to follow his advice. We're going to stick this guy in here. We're going to widen these guys up just a little bit. Right? This needs a little convincing here. Right? Just stick that in there and give it a little wiggle shake. A little wiggle shake. So, widen those up. And then we'll try again. Okay? Here we go. Let's try again. If we can get that in there. That one in there. And then here. And then this last one. Well, there's the problem. Okay, try again. I had it in the wrong. Had it upside, or kind of sideways a little bit. Had it sideways a little bit. We get this in here. Those 3 are lined up. This 4th one. 1, 2, 3. Tweeze. You can also use a pair of tweezers to widen the holes and shave them with the X-Acto. I might have to do that a little bit. Because I can see this guy here doesn't want to go in his slot. Now these three are sort of wanting to. There, that one. Ah, we have one fully seated. Okay, I got one fully seated. There's two. Two is in. All right, 3 and 4. There we go. There we go. Oh, there we go. Haha. Look at that. Now we got the flames coming out, right? So this is our jet engine, and these are the flames coming out the back of the jet engine. These are seated right into the slots as they're supposed to be, right there. Right, there we go. Fantastic. Fantastic. All right, so, woo! All right, so that's done. Now it has us taking the wing here, right? Has us setting it down this way. There's the wing. Brittany, I had met Zahn again this year to give him my fanfic ending for Thrawn, which has him fist fight a Grisk. Ooh, a fist fight. You know, Thrawn is trained in martial arts, right? You're not supposed to need a knife, but sometimes you do. Brittany says, when I gave the fanfic to him, he had a sad expression. Sad. Well, he just doesn't like fan fictions, maybe? I don't know. Pretty cool. Pretty cool that you wrote a fan fiction, though. I think it's cool. All right, so we take this guy, take this, and this has this attaching. How's it attach? How's it attaching? Here and there. I see, right in there. Oh, does this go through? How does this? I don't know. Like, is that supposed to go through there? Our engines. Is this like the back? And the engine's kind of. Like if I put the engine through there, are we going to end up with two engines sticking out this hole? It's the only way I can figure that this is supposed to attach the way that it shows. I might need a better diagram. Might need a better diagram to figure it out exactly. Because that doesn't look quite right. Right? That does not look quite right. So when I look at this, this shows that. And then at the end, it's supposed to be attached. But see, I don't understand. Okay, so I'm a little bit lost here in this whole ordeal. So this had us. Oh, wait a second. I think I see something here. Let me take this out. Hold on. Okay, so take this off. Here's my disconnect. I see it. I see it. Okay, I gotta take this whole piece off of here. Just a second. This has got to come off. Okay. We gotta backpedal. Okay, we're gonna backpedal a little bit. We're gonna take this off and pull this guy off. Okay, what I missed at this beginning step up here, this is supposed to fold all the way over. All the way. Like that. It's a wing. Right? That's supposed to fold all the way over, and this folds up. Then, when we start attaching these other pieces, like we take this, it goes in these holes here, right? That goes in the holes there. This goes in the holes there. And this piece ends up filling our hole right there. See that? See that? That fills the hole. All right? Now, when we take this piece and we wrap it over top that we had before, boy, I tell you, I'm a knucklehead. I'll just tell you that straight up. Santa is a knucklehead. This is why the elves build the toys and not Santa, because I'm not really good at following these kind of directions. Oh man, oh my goodness, I can be thick-headed and dumb, just dumb, plain dumb, right? Just plain dumb. Nothing special dumb, just plain dumb. I can be absolutely plain dumb. Right, so that goes there. Now we're talking. Now we're cooking with gas. Now things are starting to make sense. Right? Now it's starting to make sense. This tab goes on there. Falls right in there. This tab is going to go right into there. Like that. See? Now we've got like a real situation. and if we take this piece now, right, that we had from the last step, it has us having the wing this way. Okay? Line the wing up the way it is in the picture right there. And we take the engine like this, and we slide the engine onto here and here. Like that. Look, no muss, no fuss, no fight. No muss, no fuss, no fight. And it looks just like it does in the picture. There we go. Look there. Right? So there we go. Everything's fit nicely. Everything fits nicely. Uh-oh, I'm frozen. What happened? Am I back? Am I here? Hello? 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 Am I, like, everything froze for me for a second. I saw him last year. I mentioned I didn't like how Dave was handled Thrawn, and he had a cautious expression. From cautious to sad, thankful. Something happened. Yeah, our friend Gray, who has been here before in the chat, has told us a very similar story. Just a couple weeks, right? Just a couple weeks ago, she told us a very similar thing, and she met Timothy Zahn just this year, and it was very similar. Like he, a little dejected, right? A little dejected. Am I still here? Can you guys still, like, if I, let me do this. Let's see if I open the chat. Hello? Am I here? Am I by myself? Are you with me? Is anybody with me? Right? I'll just see if any of you respond. If not, I'm going to finish this step here, and then we're going to call it a day. All right, so I need B3 and C29. Oh, B3! Guess what? It says there are no more pieces left on sheet B. Haha! Right there. We're going to do B. There are no more pieces left on sheet B. We need B3 right there. And C29, C21, like all that stuff. So we're going to get B3. Where's my B sheet? It's over here. All right, there we go. We're going to take B3 off. Bye-bye, B. Oh, there's Jedi Mike. Good, I'm still with you. You're still with me. Sheet B. Woohoo! A and B. Well, now we move on. We're making progress. We're making progress. R2, D2, BB8, and Peanut. Thank you, Jedi Mike. All right, so now we need C29. C29. Let's see if I can find C27. C29 is right here. Okay, so we'll extract C29 off of there. Okay. And then B3. I got B3 pulled out already. All right. And this looks like it's a fairly easy step. It says take B29. All right. I need B29 right here. And it's got it leg up like that. and we need to attach it onto, let's see if I get it all right. We need to attach it. Oh, see, we got the engine piece. So this is going to go right over there, and the engine piece is going to line up. Want that to line up just like that. All right, so there's B29, piece of cake. Got it. And then C29, or B3. C29, that's this one. All right, C29. And we got to bend it. We want to bend it this way. All right. Oh, no, it goes this way. Bend, 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 bend. All right, so we got, there we go. Nice tiny little guy there. And it shows on the back end, here we've got slots. And this is going to fit into the slots. So, this is neat. This is neat, you guys. But this slot is like a little bit of an elbow. And this is a little bit of an elbow. And so what we have here is these bend so that the elbow goes in like that. Right? So I guess got to get it close enough so I can see. Because I'm blind, I'm old. I'll be able to see what I'm doing. All right, just like that. So now we got this little cover on here. All right, that's those two. Now we need C21, 11, and 9. 9, 11, 21. 9, 11, 21. C9. C9. Where are you? Here. Okay, we're going to pop C9. There. All right, and then I need 11. Okay, C11, it's the big piece right here. And then I need one more, 21. 21 is just a little guy right there. 9, 11, and 21. Pop these three out and set them down. All right, so now let's have us do, 9, 11, and 21. The next step's exciting. See there? See what I see? All right, so we lay this guy out just like that. Right? He goes on there. 21, this little guy that we just pulled out, he goes in this slot on the wing. I didn't pop that slot out. There's a little slot right there in the middle that I didn't get. I'm going to take the X-Acto. I'm just going to push that out. Right? Because I got to go all the way through and get it out. Right? I'm going to push that guy out of there. Right? I'm going to have to get the helper. Okay. There we go. I got that. Now, I'm going to take the helper and put it in there and just give it a little, clean it. Right? We just got to clean that out. There we go. There we go. Fantastic. All right. So, what did I do? C21. Oh, here it is. C21. They have it going in right here, like a Y on like a support strut right there. C21's a little support strut. And then we need to take 9, C9, this little guy. It shows C9 going into two support. Okay, so there's two little holes right there. These holes, this goes right in. So we're going to keep doing that. All right, so I just need to see again. There we go. There we go. See? It goes right in there. And then the last piece is 11. 11's got to be bent. Oh, we got tons of holes. We got tons of little punch outs. So we're going to punch all of these little turkeys out. Okay. Anthony will catch this replay and he'll be like, it was me. Dana, I'm the guy. I have the other cardboard model. Okay, so there's 11. Oh, there's more punch outs. A whole bunch of them. Punch these out. We're going to need these to attach. Okay. Tabs off. Right. I'm just going to make sure they're clean. Right. We're going to clean them out there. Sure they're truly open. Attach. All right. Almost there. Okay. Now, in these, I'm going to make another tube. There's our little tube. And then it shows us laying this tube right over these holes, right? This is going to just wrap right around there, right? So make sure I don't have it backwards. Yeah, this flat end goes in the back. All right, I got to get this up close again, you guys. I can't see this first tab. All right, there it is. Now I can see it. Then I got to line the second tab right there. And then just keep going. All right. Keep going. We got to get the tabs to align to the slots like such and so on. Okay, we're two for two. There's number 3 is a bit of a broad one, and I can see got a little adjustment here. My goodness! All right, just so you see what I'm fighting. See the tab here and that hole. It's just a little bit not aligned. Come on. Align. Push this guy. There's that. Okay. Why do you not want to cooperate? There we go. All right. There we go. There we go. There we go. Last. We just got 2 more little ones to get right there. Right. Everybody else is lining up. We got this middle one on. It was being a pain. We've got this one is on here. We just got to get these 2 right here. And then that guy. But that guy already wants to line up. I can see him. Pull this back a little bit. Get him lined up. That's lined up. And then just got these here on the end. All right. So these need widened. These last 2 are just not, the alignment is just far enough off that boy, oh boy, it does not want to go on there. Right? So we're just going to really, really push to get these to open up. Hello, there's Gray. Gray, we've been talking about you the whole stream. Oh, we've got a good friend, Brittany, up there. Brittany, meet Gray. Gray, meet Brittany. Go back in the chat and just read the chat. Brittany has a fantastic interaction with Timothy Zahn that lines up to what you have interacted with Timothy Zahn. The two of you are absolutely on point together. If Brittany, you're still here, say hello to Gray. Gray's my good friend. She is out there in the Pacific Northwest, and she had a conversation with Timothy Zahn that very much lines up to what you expressed, Brittany. So the 2 of you have confirmed, and Gray, you may have to go back and catch the stream like, rewind, catch us on up to the discussion we had about Zahn, because I think you and Brittany are on the exact same page. I think you're on the exact same page. All right. Oh, all right. So we finished that step. Now we just need to get the, we got to get the, I said, I will totally rewatch. Gray, this show was meant for you. This show, this show, you and Brittany, the bulk of the show, once we get to the Zahn stuff, right? So the first part, we kind of just jibber jabber. But then once we get to the actual content, the Timothy Zahn discussion, the rest of the show, from there all the way to the end, is meant for you and Brittany. And I have a couple other friends, like Sheev the Wise, who's a huge Thrawn fan. And I believe, I'm forgetting his name. Oh, you should shoot me. We have other really big Thrawn fans from the new books. Okay, I need C7. That's this big one here. I need this one. Who understand what Zahn has been writing compared to what a lot of people think who Thrawn is, and the frustrations we have with Dave Filoni. Hawk. Oh, shoot. I got the Hawk part. The rest will come to me. There's another Thrawn fan who is in our community, a really good guy. Right now, all I can think is AJ Hawk, who's a former Buckeye player. That's not my friend Hawk out there. Hawk, what? You'll probably get his name first. Gray says, I respect Lucasfilm, but I'm very frustrated with a lot of decisions. I think that's the life of a Star Wars fan, right? Like, if you're a Star Wars fan, and whichever era, whichever media you're a fan of, I think you have the same sort of experience with Lucasfilm. Like, you love it. You love this franchise. You love Star Wars. And some of the stories they have given us have just been brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And then they make decisions that you're like, wait, what? And like, you guys were doing it right. And then what did you do? There's 7. Now we need 6, 16, 17, and 20. I need C6. 4, 5, 6. Come out. Right? We need 6. And then I need 16, 17, and 20. Okay. So here's 16. Hawk. I was bummed with Tales of the Underworld. I wouldn't say bummed, Gray. The stories they gave us, I thought were okay. For me, my disappointment was I didn't get the stories that I wanted, right? There's stories I wanted versus the stories I got. The stories I got, I thought were fine. I just hope they give more, right? I hope they give us more, because there's so much more they could do in Underworld, which Tales of the Underworld wasn't really Tales of the Underworld. It was really Tales of the Bounty Hunters. And it was just a sort of couple. 16, 17, and 20. There's 19. There's 20. 16, 17, and 20. See, 6, 17, 16, 20. Okay, 6, 17, 17, 20. Okay, I got them all. All right. So we need this guy. What do we want? I wrote that weird. Sorry. I wrote it weird. You're fine. You're fine, Gray. Brett Phillips, hello from the road. Moving my daughter across the country to college. Brett, that's an exciting time. East to west or west to east? You don't have to give away too much, right? I'm just curious. You're moving her across the country. Are you moving her west? Or are you moving her east? All right, you're moving across the country. Which way are you going? All right. All right. So what do we got here? We got 7, and we need 20 goes onto the back. Again, we've got these brilliant color coding that they give us. I just need. So here's 20. East. Okay, you're moving her east. Okay. Well then. All right, so 20 goes right onto the back. Right here. All right, we just line that up. And then 16. Let's see, which one's 16? Just a second here. We normally have the letters on it if you look real close. 16. Uh-oh. Well, this is 17. Okay, so 17 is right here, and it's got the green star on it. Right, so, or diamond. Right? We got a green diamond. Got a green diamond, so that goes there. That one's easy to figure out because it's color coded. And then, if you notice, this has got some orange on it right there. And it shows us that the orange goes facing forward. And then we need 6 and 17. So, are either of these? Uh-oh, we're going to have to go back to the board to see, because they look the same. 17 and 6. So 6 has the coloring on it, and 17 is just white. So 16. No, wait. 6 has the coloring on it, and 16 is just white. So 6 has the coloring on it. That goes in front. Here. Okay. And the just white one is 16. I can see that on the board because there's coloring around here. This is 6. Got the coloring on it. And then 16 is just in a plain area right there. Your ability to build while talking is amazing. Well, I don't know how well I'm doing at it, Gray. I'm trying. So there we go. We got these 3 pieces right on there. Just like that. And then we need 5, 19, and 30. Okay, 5, 19, and 30. So see, 5 is here. Okay, we pop that out. And then we need 19. 19 is this piece here. Pop that out. How it comes. And then I need 30. There's 30. 25, 28, 29, 30. 30 is all the way down here. I've said this before, but I don't understand why these parts have these numbers like this. Probably just the way it has to fit onto the board. But look, I think this side's empty. Yeah, we've completely emptied this half of the sheet. So C, we just still have this half. Right? That's another day. We're not doing this today. That's for another day. I loved a lot of the Acolyte, but disliked the CPU decision. Gray, I have thought about the Acolyte a lot. There's a lot of the Acolyte that I think is overhated. Few parts of the Acolyte, yeah, they're not awesome. And it's example of why you need to have people around you who feel empowered to say no. Right? People who say, wait, that doesn't quite make sense. Or your story, I get what you're doing, but I think the casual person who's watching this, who hasn't been in, 57 meetings about this one episode, I don't think they're going to understand what you're saying. Because I think sometimes the Acolyte failed to communicate what it was trying to say. And I don't have any problems with what it was saying, but when it takes so much additional interviews, discussion, and breakdown to figure out what you were saying, you might have kind of missed the mark a little bit, right? Somebody needs to come back and say, well, I get what you're saying, but it's not really clear. How about we try again? Right? You don't have to change the story. I'm not saying that, right? I'm not saying they should have changed the story itself. There are parts that I personally don't like, like the Osha May bit, right? I didn't, or the Osha Chimere Osha thing. I didn't care for that. I thought the sisters should have just been at the end, had more of a happy ending, where the sisters go off together and tell Chimere to go pound sand. And then if you're going to leave it on that way, Chimere could have gone back to the island and Plagueis could have been there. And that could have been your ending. And people would have been like, ooh, what are they doing? What's Chimere doing with Plagueis? Right? That could have been a neat ending. Again, it didn't change the story too much, right? It's still the story. I dislike a single actor playing twins. I don't think she pulled it off. I get you. Yeah. I follow you, Gray. Yeah, she did a decent job for what she did, but I agree with you. It didn't quite, like, she needed a better director, or she needed, more acting chops, right? Yeah, or found an actual twin, right? Twins that could have been actresses. Yeah, I'm with you. I follow you there. I follow you, Gray. All right, this piece needs kind of bent. This is another tube. Going to go around this housing, right? It's going to be housing. And again, the problem with these is got these daggone slots and tabs, and these slots and tabs, they're trying to get them to line up, is a pain. But there you go. There's what it looks like. People wanted Plagueis, and we got a split second of it at the end. They made it sound like the whole show was going to. Well, okay, so, a big problem is setting expectations. Any storyteller needs to have the right kind of expectations set. And when like, there's expectations, and there's the famous line people love to say, like, subverting expectations, which I think is overused. And I don't think that was Rian Johnson's entire modus operandi for Last Jedi. It's sort of his style to some degree, just like J.J. Abrams sets up these mystery boxes. J.J. sets up fantastic mystery boxes, but does J.J. always resolve those mystery boxes well? Does he land the story really well? Yeah, he's got a mixed kind of track record on landing his mystery box stories. And sometimes those mystery boxes, and with Star Wars fans, it's natural, and it's nothing to be too critical about as far as the fans are concerned. Like, when you set up these mystery boxes, of course they're going to speculate, and they're going to come up with theories, and they're going to come up with these fantastic ideas, and then your delivery may or may not meet those expectations or those ideas that they had. I'll say how much 360 became bad at the very end. Yeah, I dislike that very much. Yeah. Look, I got part of it. I get, and I see what she was doing, but I think it's fair to say that Leslie didn't necessarily tell the story of how she maybe wanted to, right? Okay, so C5 goes right onto the back. And I think Osha and May getting back together at the end would have been really good. Or more of a captive situation even could have worked, where Chimere took her captive. But for her to have this, like, holding hands looking at the sunset together kind of made me mad. And yeah, I felt like other parts, like, I don't want to get into it too much, I didn't like, I did not care at all for her getting together with Chimere at the end. And I understand her being mad at Soul, right? Because I think Soul kind of messed the whole thing up. He was a big problem. Orange goes to Orange. Second here, got to find Orange. There it is. Orange goes to Orange. Okay. Really, he is to blame for like 90% of the problem. He created so much problem by lying, deceiving, hiding the truth, and then not like coming clean when he had a chance to. And he, like, Soul really is the lesson of the story that should have been more clear. And that's really Leslie's fault for not making it more clear. Like, when you go back and rewatch it, and you understand that Soul broke Jedi code so much because of his own selfishness and his attachment issues. He created so much of the problem. And the problem is that's, you don't really get the message that, like, the Jedi Order wasn't the problem, Soul was the problem. And it comes across like the Jedi Order, or that, like, I don't know, the story's a little disjointed, right? And it should have had more the show tank because she killed off Trinity. I'm just saying. Well, it could have been better. I love the show. I 100% think it deserved a second season. I agree. But I think that she dropped the ball a couple of times in a significant way that caused the story to be less than it was intended to be. Like, you understand Soul was the problem. That the reason they have these rules is to stop things like this. And that Soul caused a lot of it. And not only that, but when you see, like, the Jedi Order after this, and they're so, like, with Anakin telling him, attachments are blah, 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 blah. You guys know all that, right? When you get to that, and they haven't set it up correctly, and the payoff isn't there correctly, then you end up with this problem where people are misreading the story. They don't understand what the lesson of the story is. They don't really understand what you were trying to communicate through this story. All of that could have been avoided, right? Could have been avoided. There we go. Now we got that wrapping on. The next part of the wrapping, this goes on there. And then it shows we just got to put this on the front, right? So this is an arc, goes there, and it looks like you just slide there through there. Then we're going to attach these little tabs, right? This tab goes here, this tab goes here, and we end up with this nice little at the front, right? Last step. Woo! Last step for today. We set this, and then this, and it shows these two tabs here go right onto this back part, just like that. I can't foul this up. I gotta get this right. This has got to absolutely be right. There we go. There we go. So there, that's attached. Look. And then it shows one last piece. We take our fuselage, turn it upside down. Nope, we'd leave it right side up. We got R2 at the top. So here, let me show you the picture so you guys can see what I'm looking at. Right? So there's the top. R2's on top. And then we've got to attach this piece in. Just like that. So we take this. R2 is on top. And then these great big honkin' dogger tabs are supposed to go into the body. Oh! Oh boy! I see. We've got a big punch out right here that I didn't punch out before. So now I got to extract it the hard way. All right, we'll do it this way. Hold on. Oh, Santa. Again, I'm not good at following directions sometimes. And I don't know why. Like I try to follow the directions. I try, I read them, and I'm trying to do what it says, but then I misread it. Like, I don't know. My brain tells me that it says something or doesn't say something where it's clear. It's right there. And I'm looking right at it. And it just like, I don't know, goes over my head sometimes. All right, there we go. Let me pull this out of here. Right. There we go. Now we got two big slots. And it shows that we take R2 side up and we take this wing with the bit like that. And this slides right into that groove. And we nestle it right in there. Look how beautiful, you guys. Look how well that fit in there. Absolutely brilliant. So now we've got the jet, we've got the wing out here with the firing piece, right? We just got the lower wing, or the upper wing, sorry. R2, you keep falling out, buddy. Sorry. So there we go. Look at that. Look at that. It's starting to look really nice, right? There we go. So I'm going to set this down. And we're going to stop putting this together. I'm going to talk to you just a little bit more. And I'm going to show you what we have left. What's next, right? For the next phase of our assembly, it looks like we're going to put together another wing. Once we've done it once, doing it again shouldn't be as bad, right? Doing the exact same stuff. And then at the end of the day, the next time, we're going to attach the bottom wing. So at the top, we're going to build the bottom wing next time. All right. So that's the next time we get together for an Xwing build. Let me just bring this back up into the Santa scene. Talk to you guys for just a moment, and we're going to wrap her up. We're going to wrap her right up. Did not realize that soul was the main lesson of the story, so they did a terrible job because it didn't even understand that. I thought this is the thing. When you go back and you watch it chronologically, where you take the flashback scenes and put them back, and just keep in mind when you're watching it, like soul is disobeying, right? Soul that makes decisions for his own self. He is being selfish. Soul's being very, very selfish. He wants a Padawan. And he has decided that these girls shouldn't be there. And as you're watching it, he makes conclusions. He makes decisions. He then picks. He chooses. He takes. And then the rest of the story with Soul and Osha, he lies to her. He tries to shape her into what he wants her to be. He keeps lying to her about her sister. Her whole life lies to her. Not all of it is intentional lie, because he didn't see what happened. There's some assumptions built in there as well, that she died because how could she not die? But did he ever, fully follow through? No. And he raises her without telling her story accurately of what happened. And then the mistakes he made. He never really owns up to it until the very end. And at the end, when he finally does own up to it, and he is killed, right? He kind of accepts that he had it coming. It's just so bad, right? They didn't tell the story that well. It'd be cool to see tales about Soul or Andara, and love to hear more stories about them. I've been reading the last Acolyte books. I read the one about Andara and Vernestra. It was an awkward book to read. Not really, in my opinion. I'm not a writer. I'm just a knucklehead sitting in a basement. Literally, this is a basement. So I think that the writing in that book was not the best. I'm currently reading the book with Jecki and Yord. It's an entertaining book. It's written way better. And most of it is from Jecki's point of view. In fact, like up to this point, I'm over 50% through the book. It's all like Jecki's point of view, and Yord's in there. It's an interesting story. It's not doing much to move things forward. It's just giving you more of their rounding out their characters more. That's about it. I'm dying to see where the story goes, like after a season 2, right? Where would it have gone? All right, you guys, I've gone really, really long today. I've got work to get caught up with. Kayla's coming in later this week. We're going to spend some time with her. And I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me, being in and out. It was great to see you, Gray and Sabersmith. Thanks for hanging in there. Jedi Mike, all along from the beginning to the end. Thank you for being here, my friend. And for the rest of you who dropped in and out, I appreciate you so much. And I really do love this universe. I love this franchise. And I'm here just to kind of nerd out with you guys. Right? I have no agenda other than that. So thank you all. I hope you have a wonderful day. And until next time, my friends, Merry Christmas. And may the force be with you always. Wrong button.